Hey guys, it's Becca. I'm interning here for the summer, and I'm just going to give you guys a little behind the scenes of TEFLPros. So I'm here with Whitney today, and I'm just going to be asking her a few questions about her experience and TEFLPros altogether.
Thanks, Becca. Thanks for that nice introduction. I feel a little weird being on this side of it. Can I just say that? Like, I'm used to being the one asking all the questions. So, okay, now I have to I'm being asked the questions. I don't know what she's got prepared. She's got a notebook. There's some stuff written in it. We're going to find out together. So you ready to hop in?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Alrighty. So to start off, what did you gain from teaching abroad?
Whoa, okay. That's a big one. She's diving deep right off the bat, guys. Initially I got into it because I graduated right when the Great Recession happened. So I do feel like I can commiserate a little bit with folks that are graduating during the pandemic because it was like, wow, we're coming out of school and there's like very, very few job choices, and just I really found myself coming off of 2 study abroad experiences and feeling like, okay, I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I want to continue to grow and develop my skill set. And I wanted to have a job that would allow me to do that. So I do have a very distinct memory of kind of having a little over the phone powwow with my family. And my dad was like, look, you should just find a way to stay abroad and get a job over there, at least for a year, because things aren't looking so hot over here. And so I started asking around. I asked my Thai friends that I had made, because I'd studied abroad there briefly. And they were like, oh, English teaching, that could be a good option for you. So I really just kind of got into it by chance. And I think initially what I really gained from it was, coming straight out of university, I really had not had much of an opportunity to communicate with other people. I was used to studying. I was used to being in a library. I just wasn't used to having to develop my communication skills. And I think especially the world we're living in today that is so dependent on technology, when you dive into being a teacher, it really allows you to grow in other ways, because you can't depend on your technology when you're standing there in front of a classroom full of people. So even just learning how to give clear instructions, how to explain things, has really held me in good stead as I've gone on to do other things in my life. I can say as a business owner now, a lot of what I do, I think, stems from what I learned as a teacher.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So then what made you want to create a TEFL business?
Okay. Well, let's see if I can make this story short. Okay. So basically I taught overseas for a few years, and the school that I worked for was a large language school in Bangkok. So they had a lot of teachers coming in at different points throughout the year and onboarding with them to do, 1-year contract or maybe extend and do several years. And they did a training course, like they had a training department, I should say, built into the school so that they could actually run TEFL courses there. And the training department at the school all left at the same time. They all decided that they wanted to move to South Korea. Not sure why or how that happened, but they all left at the same time. And so the school was really left in a lurch, and they were like, okay, we need to fill these positions at the school. So myself and one of my colleagues stepped in and did our training, which took about a year to become teacher trainers. And then we began running those teacher training programs and also mentoring new hires at the school. So if you're in a large language school environment, I mean, when I first started there, I think they had roughly 90 teachers at just that one branch. So it is a lot of people, circulating through that system. And really what sparked my interest in creating my own TEFL company was the fact that over the years, mentoring all of these new hires, I started to see a really sharp decline in skill set, because we started having teachers coming into our school who had done their TEFL certification online. And, as someone, myself, I came out of doing an in-person TEFL training before I got into teaching. And then I was an in-person TEFL trainer. And so I was used to that format. And when these teachers were coming in from online programs, it was very clear that they were not coming in with the skills that they needed. So just to give you guys some examples of that, as a new teacher, you need to be able to plan lessons, right? Mm-hmm. Seems pretty basic. And they didn't understand those core principles of how do I plan a logical lesson? How do I plan lessons based on different skills? Because, depending on the skill that you're teaching, you need to plan the lesson differently. And classroom management. So those core classroom management skills of like, how do I give clear instructions? How do I observe my students properly? How do I give clear feedback? Those were really lacking. And so to be honest, Becca, my first few encounters with these online courses made me really despise online courses.
Yeah, sounds like.
Because it was a lot of extra work on my end to then basically retrain these teachers when they were already working a full-time job. It was very stressful for them. I felt for them having to do that. But after I got past the irritation with it, the ideas started to percolate of, is there not a better way to go about doing this? Is there not a way to take that in-person style of training and move it online and have it be that same high quality solution for people?
Yeah, definitely. And a last one for this section. What is your favorite part of TEFLPros and what you do?
Oh, wow. Okay. There are so many things. I feel like as a small business owner, you need to enjoy like every aspect of what you do because you wear a lot of hats. We are a small team here. So we all take on a lot of different roles. I would say one of the highlights for me is just meeting our participants. So I run the vast majority of our strategy calls, and I love that. I love that I get to meet people from all around the world. I was telling Becca the other day, I was like, well, I started off in Beijing this morning, and then we were in Jakarta, Costa Rica, Prague, and finished up in Atlanta, Georgia. So, it was just like, it's cool to be able to have your day travel. I travel vicariously through all of my participants and the actual coaching calls. So, at my core, I'm a teacher and a teacher trainer, and I love digging in and really helping people with the questions that they have. So we do allow folks to come on our coaching calls for a full 18 months. So that means that if they finish the course in a few months and then they start teaching and they have questions like in the classroom, like real life questions, they can bring those to the coaching calls, just like they can bring questions like, hey, I'm struggling in module 2. So that part of it is really fun as well, because you get to see like what people's real life experiences are in the classroom in all different parts of the world and doing all different types of teaching. So maybe they're starting their own language school, maybe they're starting a freelancing business. It's just, every day is different. And that's really, it's fun on this side of things to see that.
Thank you so much for listening. And thank you, Whitney, for sitting down with me and answering these questions.
Thank you, Becca. It's been fun.